This video is all about the purpose of assessment and different types of assessment. So what is the purpose of assessment? It is all about understanding children better, understanding what they know and can do so that you can recognise how to build on this knowledge by supporting and extending their learning. When thinking about assessment, it is also important to think about what assessment should not be about. It should not be about huge amounts of data and evidence. Data and evidence have been identified as a source of unnecessary workload and stress, and is one of the reasons the EYFS Framework has been revised, with the hope that practitioners will be able to spend more time with children. As the framework states, assessment should not entail prolonged breaks from interaction with children, nor require excessive paperwork. By taking a moment to think about how you assess children and why you do it, you can reflect on which assessments are most useful, as well as those that have been formed out of habit and may no longer benefit you or the children. To understand assessment better, let's look at what different types of assessment there are. Types of assessment often include initial assessment, formative assessment, and summative assessment. Initial assessment is used to notice what children feel confident in and what they struggle with at the beginning of a learning process, for example, when children first arrive in your setting. This initial assessment helps set a benchmark to measure individual progress for children, making sure that progress is measured by what each child has learnt and developed on, and not necessarily what is expected by a certain age. Formative assessments are assessments you will do every day. They are often at the same time as daily interactions with children, as you notice who does or doesn't need support, putting on their coat or climbing outdoor equipment, for example. Some of these assessments will be useful to remember and write down, while others you will mentally note and share with colleagues or parents. It may be helpful to think of keeping records on some of the children some of the time, but not all of the children all of the time, as said by Julian Grenier in working with the revised Early Years Foundation Stage Principles into Practice. Finally, summative assessments can be done at points throughout and at the end of the learning stage to gain a greater understanding of children's progress and comprehension in a certain area or skill. To help reflect on assessment, you can consider how do you do your initial, formative and summative assessments, and how much time do they take? Alongside these assessments, depending on the age of your children in your setting, you will have statutory assessments that you must complete. Statutory assessments include the Progress Check at age 2, the new Reception Baseline Assessment, and the Early Years Foundation Stage Profile at the end of reception. If you would like to find out more about assessment, we have a video on the overall changes in the framework, as well as one explaining the requirements of the new statutory assessment, the Reception Baseline Assessment. If you would like more support on assessment, check out our assessment resources on site, linked below. And if you found this video useful, subscribe to our channel so that you can be the first to hear about new videos, or you can like and share it for others that might find it useful.